So, as I was saying, I tried very hard yesterday to do a video, but that was impossible. That one was going to be about people's obsessions with masks, to include the tale of me going into the Domino's pizza to order a pizza for my sister, and because I'm trying to encourage her appetite, and so I ordered the pizza, and the guy said to me, it'll be 15 minutes, but you have to go away and come back. And there was no one else in the shop apart from me. And given that I was on a schedule, I wasn't going to wait 15 minutes, first of all. Well, I would have waited 15 minutes if I was allowed to wait in the shop, but I wasn't going to go and loiter somewhere and then come back. So that was a non-starter. And everywhere I went, it was sort of like meeting with people and this obsession. As well, I spoke to the doctor, and he wanted to see my sister face to face. And his final word to me was, make sure she wears a face covering. And then yesterday morning, which is what and was sort of causing me to utter the word idiot so frequently, I spoke to the receptionist in view of the fact that my sister, she lives on the 4th floor of 4, and it would have been kind of impossible to get her down the stairs because she can't walk independently. So I wanted to know whether or not the doctor would be able to come and see her. No, he can't because of COVID. And she didn't have any solutions, and I just thought, I'm dealing with an idiot here. But she was very mindful to say, oh, if she does come, make sure she wears a face covering. So for a laugh, and there are people who saw me do it, this thing I've got here on my head, I took delivery of 2 more yesterday, including a black one. So I thought, okay, you want a face covering? So this is how I went to the doctor's surgery. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the actual, this is one of these, I don't know what they call them, bandanas. So this is, I went in and I was wearing that. And, sometimes you stick a person behind the desk. There were 2 of them. You stick them behind the desk and they think they are rulers of the world. So I kind of walked in with my energy switched on, as I do when I want to intimidate people. And there was subtle, they could say to me, they could see that it wasn't standard face covering, but hey, my face was covered, wasn't it? So that was the joke. My nephew came with me, and here we are. There, whoops, what have I done there? There we are. Yeah, so that's us in the doctor's surgery. So what's the saying? Doctor knows best, but does doctor know best? I said in a previous video that I don't do doctors. And yesterday was the longest day of my life. I'm the kind of person, there I go again, I'm the kind of person, if you put me in a room and say, stay there and don't move, immediately I'm going to want to fall asleep. So imagine, my sister got admitted to the hospital yesterday. And so the doctor's appointment was 11:40. And doctor said that she needed to go to the hospital and he could call an ambulance, but it would take 4 hours for the ambulance to come. And I thought, you must be joking. You must be having a laugh, as though I've got 4 hours of my life to wait sitting around for an ambulance. So I call a cab. So anyway, we got the cab to the hospital. And a long story short, I arrived home last night at 10 p.m. or thereafter. So I was at the hospital, and there's a lot of waiting around. But in the waiting around and just seeing the way people do things, I reassessed. So rather than calling people idiots or incompetent, just the way people go about doing things, I take it back. It's not that people are idiots. It's, I didn't want to go down this road at this particular point. But I will say it is a lack of God, because God is intelligent. And the more of God you have in your life, and I don't mean religion, I mean actual God, personal relationship with God, the more intelligent you become. So you do things differently, right? So whereas you might see people acting in a professional capacity, and you can look at them and think, this person's so stupid, this person's so incompetent. It's not that they're stupid, they're acting without that added intelligence that you can only get from God. So as I said, I take it back. I'm not going to say people are stupid or ignorant or just dumb, or all the other words you can use. I will just say it's lack of enlightenment, lack of God, lack of initiative. Well, initiative is something that I would argue it becomes more sharpened as you develop a relationship with God. The closer your relationship is with God. As an example, sticking with the point of God, on the way back last night, I was speaking to one of my friends, and I mean, I hear a lot of voices, people expressing worry for my sister and saying, you must be really worried. So my friend said to me last night, you must be really worried. I said, no, I'm not worried, because I'm a practical person. I look at everything in practical terms, so I don't do worry. I think she was probably shocked and horrified the way I was speaking, because my sister's in hospital. And I pretty much was saying that, well, I don't worry about my health. I look after it. So I said, the only person's health I need to concern myself about is mine. It's for everybody else to take care of their own health. And again, people would say, shock, horror, how can you say that? But it's true. It is, my body is my body. It's like if you have a car, your car is your car. Do you expect your neighbor to look after your car for you to maintain it? No, you look after your own car. Your body is your vehicle. It is for you to look after it. So whereas I did a video a couple of days ago, I believe it was, and I talked about health. And I said, I've got fantastic health. I don't have any health problems. I have not been to the gym or done any form of exercise due to lockdown for more than 6 months. And yet, at 54 years old, I'm talking to my friend on the phone last night, and I'm running down the bus, and I caught it, right? So, and I didn't lose form. I wasn't huffing and puffing, So, I don't take credit for that. I believe if you put your effort in, or if you're willing to put your effort in, God gives you more. And this is my experience. It's not just a belief, it's my experience. For example, because I've got such a jam-packed day today, I organized my thoughts, and I decided that the best thing to do would be to come here and work here from home, doing the things that I can't do at my sister's place while she's in the hospital. So that frees me up slightly. Her being in the hospital frees me up slightly to get some things done that would have been a bit difficult to do at her place. So, I organized my thought, use my intelligence, if you like. And the next thing to do was to leave home and leave my sister's place and travel back home. I got to the bus stop. I didn't have to wait. There was a bus due. That bus takes me straight here. So the little things, just little things work out. So you don't sort of, there's not a lot of frustration in my life. The only frustration that happens is when I have to deal with people who are functioning at a level without God, whether it be for lack of belief or for ignorant belief. Because people can't, I say, and there are people who would agree with me that religion and God are not the same thing. They don't, because you could be a faithful believer, you could go to church religiously. It doesn't mean that you have a connection to God, and that is what matters. So, like I said, I didn't really want to go into the God thing, because it's sort of like, if you've never, if you believe in God in a basic way, which most people do, then you're not going to have an idea of what I'm talking about. But when I say that my life works, and it works absolutely, that's where I'm coming from. It's what I'm connected to. So, as I said, I'm not going to be on here saying that people are ignorant and stupid or whatever. I'm just going to say it is the level that they're functioning at, and you can either deal with them or not. And I choose not to deal with people henceforth, because of everything going on. And for me, my time is valuable. I'm not going to be dealing with people that I don't have to deal with, who choose to be at a certain level, whether that be in sickness or in health or whatever. I'm just going to do things my way, as I see fit. But as I said, I don't ask anybody to come and join me. Each are free to do as they please. Like, I had a conversation with my nephew yesterday, and I said to him, because he came to the hospital with us, and I said, no one asked me to look after my sister. I saw the need, and I took the initiative, and I rearranged my life in such a way that I could fit her in. So I don't see it as my duty, or I don't see it as a need for me to tell other family members or anyone else connected to her what they need to do. In the same way that I used my initiative, no one gave me instructions, they too can use their initiative. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be the only person to visit her in the hospital. I'm quite sure of that. I did try to call some people, but they didn't pick up their phone or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I call them from a different number, so maybe they don't answer strange numbers. I don't know, but my job is to just do what I have to do. It's not to tell people what they need to do. So anyway, at the top of this, I said the word. If you tell me that I need to stay still for a couple of hours and not do anything, then that's this immediately I'm going to want to fall asleep. And that was me in the hospital yesterday. So towards the end of the day, after they'd assigned my sister a bed in the ward, basically I was there for 3 hours doing nothing. I was waiting for, I don't know how they do things in hospital, because like I said, I don't do doctors. I don't have anything to do with this kind of thing. I do God. And I do God. If I don't do God, I do Elizabeth Young. So I don't know how these things work, but I overheard they were trying to, the person at the desk, the nurse at the desk, was trying to call somebody so they could give me some details on what was going to happen with regards to my sister. And she had rung a bell or called them or whatever they do in the hospital, and no one picked up. And then she called again, because obviously it was getting late. It's past visiting hours. It's sort of approaching 10 o'clock now. And I overheard the conversation. Someone came up. They were sort of changing shifts or something. I don't know what they do, or handing over. And she said, "Oh, we don't answer the bell. We don't answer when we're changing over." So I'm thinking, okay, so you've got me. I was here for 3 hours and I'm tired. I didn't get any work done yesterday, and I didn't get much sleep. I was up before 5 in the morning, so literally I was on my feet all day. I don't know. God alone knows how I remained standing. But it's sort of like this attitude that people have, this very casual attitude. So like I said, I in as much as I was sleep deprived, and a lot of my time was wasted, I was there for 3 hours longer than I needed to be. I learned lessons. So rather than say that people are stupid and incompetent and are idiots, I will just say it's a lack of God. And I'm going to leave it at that point. If you want to think about that, if you say, oh, there's no such being as God, there's this, that's your problem, good for you. But all I know is my life works, and it works absolutely. And it is a consequence of in whom I put my trust. And on that note, I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I have no idea what how the day's gonna pan out, how the weekend's gonna pan out. I don't know anything, but I'll be back at some point. See you later.